girl was shocked to discover that her husband, whom she had married in a flash marriage, was actually a billionaire CEO. It turned out that just yesterday, the CEO's grandfather came to the company to visit his grandson. However, the security guards mistook him for a beggar and blocked him at the gate. They even tried to drive the old man away. The girl, who happened to be delivering food nearby, saw this. She immediately rushed forward to support the grandfather. Then she stood up for him and argued until the guards were speechless. Afterward, when the girl had received a food delivery call, she had left her contact information and left. Later, the grandfather had pretended to feel dizzy and too weak to walk. He had hoped the girl could come and take him home. The girl had hurried over, but the old man had happily introduced his grandson to her. The girl, however, had said she did not want to get married for the time being. The grandfather mistakenly thought the girl was worried that the family would treat her badly after marriage. So he instantly promised that as long as the girl married his grandson, he would give her a dowry of $100 million. Unexpectedly, the CEO said that his grandfather had delusions. He always thought the family was rich. In fact, he was just a worker. Even the house he lived in was rented. Just then, the girl turned away to answer a phone call. The CEO thought she must dislike his poverty and pretended to leave to answer the call. In fact, the girl had received a debt collection call. Her father had borrowed $200,000 for surgery before he passed away. The caller threatened that if she did not repay soon, they would take her as collateral. Then he immediately hung up the phone. Just when the CEO thought the girl would never marry such a poor man like him, the girl said she was willing to marry him, but she asked for a dowry of $200,000. The grandfather was overjoyed and agreed at once. Afterward, the grandfather accompanied them to register for a marriage certificate. But after the grandfather left, the girl gave the CEO a promissory note for $200,000. She said she would repay him as soon as possible. Later, the girl went to apply for a job at the CEO's company. Unexpectedly, she ran into a scheming former classmate. That classmate had bought the girl's award-winning design from 3 years ago, so their drafts looked almost identical. But the scheming girl's uncle was the deputy general manager of the company. He had already spoken with the interviewer in advance, so the interviewer accused the girl of plagiarism. No matter how the girl explained, the interviewer refused to change his mind. Furious, the girl picked up her work and prepared to leave. Unexpectedly, when the CEO's assistant showed him the two identical drafts, he realized something was wrong. So he came in person to understand the situation. To his surprise, he ran into his flash marriage wife. When the interviewer saw the boss, he hurriedly greeted him. Only then did the girl realize that her poor husband was actually the CEO of the company.